Hello everyone. So this is gonna be a little bit of a different kind of video. I don't know how anyone's gonna feel about this. I am just gonna be completely honest. So I know my most recent video was about me switching from an A6 notebook into a traveler's notebook and then back into an A6 notebook. Well, I'm switching again. I think other people have mentioned how, when they feel a little bit of a lack of control, they try and fix problems that don't exist or problems that were like very minuscule by switching books and stuff like that. And I think that might be something that's happening here, but it is what it is. But also this is something that I realized was impacting me, and so it makes more sense to do what I'm doing. Anyway, a big content warning for this video. There's going to be discussions about physical health and mental health. Hopefully not too graphic, but this is a health vlog video. It's not going to be like a health vlog as in like drink a green smoothie and go to Pilates health vlog. This is a chronically ill and disabled person's health vlog. Not log. I'm not doing anything. Yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. So there will be talk of mental health issues as well as physical health issues and like deteriorating health issues. So I just wanted to put that out there at the beginning, because if this is not your type of video, please feel no obligation to watch this. Okay, just to get it out of the way, I've been logging my health since I think 2020, was it 2023? I think it was 2023, because I have been struggling with like physical health and mental health since I was very, very young. Mental health even predates the physical health things because I didn't know what I was experiencing until like the past few years. I don't know how much I want to talk. I'm not sure how much I want to like divulge on the internet. I have been seeing mental health practitioners since I was very, very young. I thought that was like the worst of my problems for a very long time until my physical health started to deteriorate as well, and no one knew what was going on with me until not very recently. Like I think it was anyway. Everything kind of all ties back to one thing, which I will talk about in a bit. But it's just one of those things where I was like, wow, I feel terrible all the time, and no one knows what's wrong with me. I am not the type of like not healthy. I'm not the type of person where it's like, yes, if I go to the gym, I will feel much better because I felt bad before. I'm the type of person where I started using a cane when I was 16 years old, and I've been using one on and off ever since. That's the kind of video this is going to be. So if that's a little too depressing, please do not feel obligated to stay. Anyways, all that aside, I've been keeping a health log since I think 2023. I started in a passport traveler's notebook. Then I moved into mini 5 rings because I thought it was cute, and it's because I was able to put it in my bag and like take it anywhere I needed to. Then I took the original traveler's notebook not rings. I took the traveler's notebook system and I cut them up and put them into pocket rings, pocket rings. And then last year, I decided I was going to move it into a Hobonichi Weeks. Well, let me get it, actually. I moved it into this Hobonichi Weeks. I was tracking my health. Let's see if there's anything I can show you in here. Okay, I'll just cover this part. But basically what I was doing was, it was very simple. I was tracking my symptoms on this side, medications I took as needed ones, not like my regular daily medications. This one was like, Kirkland is actually the Costco brand of a pain medication that I use. So we got this off-brand naproxen from Kirkland. So there's that. Dailies, these are things that I was trying to do every day if I was able to, or just logging things. So like meds, brushing my teeth, washing my these dropped off because I didn't, yeah, anyway. But like meds, brushing my teeth, washing my face, showering, coffee, and gratitude, and then eating 3 meals a day. This is exercises, not exercise like cardio or anything. This was like physiotherapy exercises, trying to do yoga and walking for 10 minutes. Yeah, and then these were when I had an Apple Watch, which I'll get into in a little bit. When I had an Apple Watch, the rings I was doing here, and then counting my steps. And so that's what I used last year. This year, I decided I was going to use, I was also going to use a week's. So I'll begin with that. I am realizing now that a lot of this video is going to be likely heavily blurred, so I apologize. That's gonna not be the nicest to look at. I got this Frog and Toad Weeks, and I'm obsessed with it. It's so beautiful. I'm really upset that I have to not abandon it, but like we'll see how the pocket rings do, and then we'll figure that out. But basically, what I was doing is I called this my logs journal, and this is an illustration by Megan Rhiannon, who I believe it was from an article that was written about autism. Was it for NPR? I feel like it was for NPR. But I just took this illustration and I put it here because when I began, this is actually the same sort of decoration I had in the weeks last year. I literally like picked them off and put them over here. But anyway, so what I was doing for this week's is in the monthlies, I was writing out all of my health-related appointments. So doctor's appointments, therapy, stuff like that. Okay, so I'll just show you this one for now, and I can just cover that part with my hand, because this is the first week of January. So like I said in the other one, I would write my symptoms here and like activities I did throughout the day. And then I would, in green, this is the Uni one, in avocado green. I believe all of these are from the Fika series. I got them all individually because I wasn't sure what colors I wanted. But so in the avocado green, I would write in pain medications that I would take. So this should be in the green as well. I don't know. But so these are all pain medications. So the Kirkland off-brand naproxen, Aleve is naproxen as well, I believe, Tylenol, and then the Kirkland again. And then in the black here, I have almatriptan, which is a migraine medication, my testosterone injection, which I do myself, and ezopiclone, which is a sleep medication. Oh boy, yeah, I recently switched back onto new old meds. I don't know if I'm going to talk about this. We'll see. Anyway, then as I mentioned with the other one, daily tasks, trying to eat 3 meals, exercise, well, I just call it movement, rings on my Apple Watch, and steps. I was recently, actually right here, do I want to, isn't there anything bad here? No, I'll just leave this for now. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm sorry. Oh, I'll cover my doctor's name, that's a good idea. I'll go back to sort of September. In September, I started experiencing numbness in my hands. Since then, it's gotten to the point where my hands are numb about 80 to 85% of the time, and I wasn't sure what was going on. I was trying to chalk it up to, I kind of ignored it until January because I was just I've always had really poor circulation, and so I was chalking it up to that. But then I started so it's not muscle weakness, I don't think, because I can't tell the difference between what muscle weakness is versus I can't tell how hard I'm supposed to grip things because I can't feel my hands, so I keep dropping things. So basically, I've been having really bad pain in my hands, in my knuckles, and in my wrists, and in my, like, right here, but the numbness is in every finger, not just these ones, because I was trying to, in mid-February, in January, I started deciding, okay, I need to talk to my doctor about this, and then my doctor referred me to get a electromyography and a nerve conduction study. And that happened in mid-February, and I didn't see and that happened in mid-February, and then literally a month later is when I finally saw the neurologist, which was Tuesday. Today is Sunday, the same week. And ever since February, the middle of February to the end of February, because of all the wrist pain, I stopped wearing my Apple Watch. Because I started having to brace my wrists most of the time. I'm not wearing them currently because I thought they were ugly for the video, but we'll see how long that goes. But basically, on the 17th, I was diagnosed with carpal tunnel, severe in my left hand and moderate to severe in my right hand. Not good, but the fact that the onset was really, really quick is what concerns me. And it does tie back to another condition I have called hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which I was diagnosed with in 2024 in November. It's a connective tissue disorder, but it's also known to be a multi-system disorder. It's not that well... I don't know how well it's researched but anyway, TLDR, I have really bad wrist pain and numbness. I lose feeling in my hands quite often. And so as someone who is a journaler and a journaler and an art, I don't know what to call myself. I guess I'm just a journaler, and a stationery person and a big fountain pen user. It was devastating to know that I can't really write that long. I would have to, in my most recent video, when I was writing, I would have to stop every 2 to 3 minutes because I couldn't feel my hands anymore. And that was really upsetting for me. And now, the actual reason for this video is that since I was no longer tracking over here I would track my rings on my Apple Watch and my steps, which were also recorded by my Apple Watch, I have nothing to track here. And these I was mostly just doing for fun. Like, these weren't necessarily meals, nice to have. Most of these things are, I know I need to do them. Thankfully, I'm very lucky to have that sort of, it is executive dysfunction where I have issues with certain things on this list, but I'm lucky that I know that I have sort of a routine where I know what I need to do when, roughly. I do have reminders in my phone of, hey, you need to take your meds, you need to go shower, stuff like that. Actually, the shower's not the issue because I have OCD as well. And so, but yeah, so I know when I'm supposed to do most of these things, or I know I need to do them at least once a day. So I haven't felt the need to track these as much. And so basically what happened was half of this page became empty. And then this is next week, because this is the upcoming week, because this is tomorrow. But then the following week, I realized I didn't have a use for this side of the page anymore. It felt like a waste of space, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it, because for the notes pages here, do I have anything that's not... Okay, I'll just show you this. So I had this tracker for tracking my pain levels, where on the top I would make a note of every day that I felt like all the types of pain, and then on the bottom you can kind of see through here maybe I had on a level from 1 to 5. And the issue with that sort of pain scale is the fact that I'm never below like a 3. And so since I've been in pain like my entire life, I don't know how to differentiate between levels of pain really, because I've recently started learning to differentiate pain by how debilitating it is, as opposed to on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your pain? Baymax. Anyway, but yeah, so I started going from it's manageable, it's interfering with my functioning, and it's debilitating. And that's easier for me to look at because a lot of the time, I'm always in pain. I'm never not in pain. But if I'm able to sort of push through it, or if it's negligible in comparison to days when I can't stand very long, it's harder to put on a scale. And then back here, I had my, I was tracking gratitude, and I was just going to use all of these back pages for gratitude. And I really liked it because it was all contained in this one system, and it's Frog and Toad, and I love Frog and Toad. But now, since I have so many pages left and this is gonna go, these pages are gonna go, this side of the page is gonna go to waste. I could move the gratitude over here. Maybe I'll try that out in a little bit, but for now, I'm moving into rings for now. So I'm gonna try and get this out of the way in like as soon as possible because it's crinkly plastic and I know a lot of people dislike that. But basically, I had these 2025 diary refill pages from filofax in pocket size, and this is my pocket size notebook, or not notebook, this is my pocket sized cover. So these are from 2025, and I only used them for half a year until I moved into the weeks, or not even half a year, it was only a few months. So I'm taking these for now, and I am redating them. And I'll show you sort of how I have this set up. I have these dividers that I got online. I think, unfortunately, they were just from Amazon. I made this sort of... Here, wait a second. There we go. I made this sort of cover image for myself last time I was in Rings, where these images are magazine clippings from National Geographic. And so I just put it on some cardstock, or is it cardboard? It might be cardboard. I think it was just really thin cardboard that I stuck it on the front and back to give it some, like, to give it some stability. And then, I used to have a pen loop on here and it ripped the image. So I put some washi from Bronte's shop, and then this sticker from, I cannot remember where it came from. And so I wrote health log on it. And so I'm just gonna flip to some pages. Actually, wait. I think I did some, because I want to show you what I've been doing and how I've been redating these. Okay, there we go. So what I've been doing is using these cream, because this is the cream paper, because I prefer the way it looks to the, I don't have a preference usually between cream and white paper, but when it comes to the filofax ones, the inserts are a lot more minimal, because for whatever reason they decided they were going to, for the diary inserts for, if they're on white paper, the lines are all in black and white, but then there's also blue there, and there are so many distracting things written along the margins, and I found it to be quite cluttered looking. I forgot to write the weekend, but I found it to be quite cluttered looking, and so I got the brown one, the cream ones, because the ink is all brown all throughout. Like, it's just white and it's just not white. It's just cream colored paper and then brown ink, and I really like that a lot because I'm a brown color enjoyer. But so this is what the weeks look like normally. And I've been taking my cream correction tape from the brand, is it Whipper? Whipper? And this is Petite Cream Tape Plus. Made in Vietnam, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so you just flick this open and then you use it like a regular whiteout. And I love these so much. This is the 2.5mm one, and I believe this is the 4mm one. They're almost always sold out on like paper plus cloth, unfortunately. So I grab when I can. But what I've been doing is I have been covering up, well, I'll show you on this page. So I cover up July 2025 and the week number, or I just cover up the month and the year because it's not those years or months. And then I just cover up the dates, the numbers. And what I've been doing is drawing margins down the same way the weeks has. Maybe I'll just make like a mock spread for you. I'll do that. That'll be fun. Let's do that. Okay, so for this mock spread, I'm just going to show you what I've been doing, which is, I don't want my sleeves rolled up. Everything is in my way because I write at a weird angle. This is also in my way. So what I've been doing is just taking the white out and whiting out the month and the year on either side. I started too high for there. Okay, and then I also have been writing out the week number, because then I can just write them in myself. I've been leaving this because I think I'm going to do this week section. I think I'm going to do my the dailies that I have been needing to check off. And then I've been putting washi over top of this because I can't be bothered to white the entire thing out. Okay, yes. And then I use the thinner one for the days because, it takes up less space, but also if it's, since we're in the week with the 20s, that I'm currently in the front section. So I've just been whiting out the second digit. Oh, I did too much there. Oh well. What is going on here? Oh well. It's not behaving because it's on camera. So if there's something like this Christmas Day, I've just been ignoring it, but like if I felt like it, I could just white it out if I felt like it. I haven't been, but then I take the, so this is a Uni 1P, but I actually have a different refill in here. I don't remember which Sarasa it is, but it's one of the vintage colors that actually matches the brown here perfectly. Does it say? 2106. If anyone knows what that means, that's what the insert is numbered. I've been calling it the brown black because I think that's what it is, but I'm not entirely sure. It could be sepia black. I don't remember. But for example, I'll just put 1, 2, 3, and then so on and so forth. And I've been sort of, I don't have an exact, I think I was doing like one after this week, or like one ruler width after this week, something like that. And then just drawing the line in. I shouldn't have drawn the full line there. It is what it is. I've done it like several times now where it's an accident every time. This is also on an angle. I'm not good at doing this on camera because if you saw my previous video, I get really close to the paper when I'm working for some reason. I think it's just a remnant of art school. I'm just gonna quickly white this out again. Ugh. So I've been doing that. Did I also just smear that? Come on, man. Oh man, oh well, this is a mock-up, I'm just showing you an example. But so I think I'm going to do like a dailies over here, and then just like a chart. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to set it up yet. This is just an example, but that's why it's all wibbly wobbly. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then like meal 1, 2, 3, and then like meds AM, meds PM, stuff like that. I don't know how much I'm gonna actually write in here because it's kind of small, but we'll see. So then for my color coding, so these are Uni 1 pens. These are all the, wait a minute, my hand's going numb again. Okay, so these are the color coding I have in this notebook. I had it in the weeks as well. But the green, as I've mentioned, is sort of for painkillers. This is in the Fika edition avocado green color. So over here I would put like painkiller. I never put the dose because it doesn't matter unless it's something like Tylenol arthritis, where I will take 2 at a time because that's the dose for adults, and so I would put ×2 for that. And then I just write down every time I take it in the day. I don't necessarily put the time or anything. I just mark down like, okay, so I took this many this day, stuff like that. These two are very important, specifically the red one. So this is Poppy Red, also I believe from the Fika collection. And this is for all of my physical symptoms that relate to health conditions. So like pain in X area of body. And if there's like a specific time, like I'd only happen in the morning, I would put in morning. Stuff like that. And then for the blue, this is for mental health symptoms. So like, or not necessarily mental health, but things that are not things that are not impacting my physical health. So for example, I often get brain fog, which could be caused by many things, but since it's more cerebral, I guess, is cerebral the right word for this? I don't know. It impacts my brain as opposed to like my physical. Brain is physical still, but like it's internal as opposed to like my physical form. So I would just put brain fog. And so those are the things that mostly go in here, but then I go back with the brown and be like, and I will put like work, because if I worked, sometimes my pain will be worse, or sometimes the movement and walking around is helpful. The issue with my work is that most of it is bending down and lifting things. I trust my doctor. I'm so lucky to have a good doctor because they're very hard to come by, especially I live in Canada, and our health system, at least in my province, is kind of falling apart at the seams because our premier really wants to privatize it, but yeah, no, it's terrible. Yeah, so we're trying, like, all the healthcare workers are under so much stress all the time, and I feel so bad for them. So I'm very fortunate to have a family doctor who is very kind and very understanding, and I've been seeing her since I was a teenager, and she's the best. I'm so glad that I get to see her. Anyway, I think that's kind of sort of all that I wanted to talk about. I'm really sorry. Actually, I lied. But, like, I'm really sorry this is such a downer of a video. I just wanted to be sort of honest about where I'm at and how this might impact videos, because a lot of my videos have to do with my hands and writing and stuff like that, and I really probably shouldn't be writing for extended periods of time with the way that my hands and wrists are. Will I still do it until they tell me I'm not allowed to? Probably. But I was told that I've been bracing the wrists every night, and they're the stiff kinds with the metal rods. The neurologist told me that they will prevent further deterioration, but they will not help anything get better, which is really, really sad. But it is what it is. I think part of this video is just me processing sort of the grief, I guess. Because I don't know if I've ever talked about it, but I'm 25. Yeah, I'm 25 years old. Being physically ill and like chronically ill since you were very young makes you feel really weird about the world. And it's just really hard to sort of process the grief that comes along with it. Especially when this is very vulnerable, I'm really sorry. But yeah, like, my favorite things to do are play with pens and write in my journals and stuff like that, and to think that I'll probably have to take a big break from it for a while is kind of really upsetting. And also the fact that, like, with everything that you do with your hands and on a daily basis, it's very hard to think about the fact that I'm probably going to have them immobilized for quite some time. So this is where I'm at with the health log, and the little last thing in here is that I cut up a memo pad, one of the Hobonichi memo pads in the week size, because I had used half of it already. I have a few other ones, but I cut it up, and I'm using it for gratitude in here. As you can see, this page had like a bunch of had a bunch of stains on it and like some swatches. And I just put some images over top for the gratitude header, sort of, and I've just been logging what I'm grateful for in here. In a very similar way that I was doing it in the actual weeks. So I have this little blotter paper from my friend Ramona. It's like the perfect size, which was very exciting. And then I have this Travelers Company pencil board because it's for the passport size, so it fits neatly in the pocket. But yeah, so that's my health log right now. I moved from the Hobonichi weeks into pocket rings. We'll see how long it lasts, because the reason I'm recycling or upcycling these old pages is because I don't want to buy anything new unless I know this sticks. I might, if it does work and I don't even feel like I need to, I might just use these for the rest of the year so I don't have to buy anything else. But I guess we'll see what happens. Yeah. I I think I want to talk about something a little lighter now. To sort of recover from, or not recover from, but like redeem this video because it's quite the bummer. I thought I would show you some little additions I've had to my collection. So if you know, recently I got a, sorry, I should have brought this out earlier. I added a Pilot Custom, nope, wrong side. I added a Pilot Custom 823 to my collection. It is currently uninked because I got mad at it. And by mad at it, I mean it was totally user error. I did not realize that, or not that I didn't realize, it's that it's a vacuum filler, right? So it's largely meant to be used with bottles of ink, and I wanted to use it with a sample that I didn't have much ink left of. So I tried to use it, and it was not getting any of the ink, so I tried something else with it, and I got ink everywhere. But I did it over the sink because I figured it might happen, so it was fine, but then I was pissed off, so I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. So I got an ink miser to try and help me be able to use samples with it. And if you are not familiar with an ink miser, there's this little eyedropper that comes with it. But an ink miser, it is this little contraption here. Put that like there. It's gonna roll away. There, stay. It is basically like a little vial. It's a plastic vial of, you put the ink in there. So, for example, I got these two from Aziza, who her shop is Gourmet Pens, and she is the sweetest. She comes to the journal meetups that I go to. I actually went to one last night, which is where I got this, which I'm very, very excited about. So what you do is you take the ink either from a bottle that's very low or from a sample, and you pour it in here, and then you take the pen, whatever pen you happen to be using, and you put it in here, and the way it reaches all the way down, so you can get like a good proper fill. And it's so smart. Let me see who designed these. Okay, so it's Luxury Brands USA. I think they have like, I don't know. But I am so glad that Aziza has these in her shop, because I was trying to figure out where I could get one from, and I think that Penablers also has them. But since I see Aziza at least once a month, I was like, hey, would I be able to grab these from your shop, and can you bring it to the meetup? And she was like, absolutely. And I'm very thankful for that, because now I will be able to use this with samples of ink instead of just my bottles. I do have a lot of bottles of ink, but yeah, I was like, but I want to use this one ink. Why can't I use this one ink? And it was very silly of me. But so there's that. Currently inked, actually wait, I'll pause here. So for currently inked, I will try to be back on it for April, because this month I filmed a currently inked for March, literally, and this is the third time I had filmed this. I kept switching pens, and it kept pissing me off. And then I would film a currently inked, then I would switch a pen, and so it would be inaccurate, so I would refilm it, and then I would switch, and then it was just a long time. This isn't even accurate anymore. But yeah, so look, see, the blue isn't even in there. I inked this up as well, and that's not even over here. But yeah, so it was just a lot, and then I inked these up the past 2 days because I was like, no one can stop me. I don't have a currently ink to be held to. These are all rules that I made up in my head, but the problem is I have rule following disorder, and so I make up a rule in my head, and then I'm like, I cannot stray from it, or something bad will happen. And it's just silly. But like, since this month I'm not being held to a currently inked that I filmed a video for, that everyone expects me to stick to. No one expects me, no one cares. It's just me. I expect myself to stick to it. I was like, I can do what I want, and so I inked these two pens in the past few days. And then, I say the past few days, this was literally last night, because I wanted to show this as well. Aziza actually brought a whole bunch of pens to the meetup, that she was just sort of destashing. And this is one of them. And I saw this and went, oh, that's my green. That's my color of green. And she didn't want any money for them. She was just putting them in. We have I don't even remember what we were calling it. It's like, I don't even remember what we were calling it. But it's something, it's basically like the rescue bin where we bring our stationery that we don't want or would like to pass along or share, and we put them in the bin. At the meetup yesterday, it currently took up a whole like a circular table. It was just covered in like the actual bin of stickers and miscellaneous things, and I added a whole bunch of stuff to it. I actually brought a bunch of ink samples and little bottles. So Aziza brought a bunch of pens for rehoming, basically, and I saw this, and it's a Pilot steel nib, and I was like, okay, say less. And so I put this red brown in it by J. Urban, and it writes so beautifully, and I'm so pleased with it. It's so funny that I filmed I think last year I got a total of like 2 or 3 pens all year, and this year I've gotten like 3 pens in the first 3 months. But anyway, my pen collection now is out of date, but it is what it is. So this is a Pilot 78G, which is crazy because I had never heard of this pen. I think it's discontinued. Don't hold me to that, but I was trying to research it last night and I was having trouble finding information that is current about it. This is a limited edition from, I think it said 2020, and it's called Tuscany Green, which is very cool because I was in Italy last year visiting my brother in Rome. And then we did end up going, is Tuscany a region? I believe Tuscany is a region because we were in Florence, which I believe is in Tuscany. So I thought it was very cool and fitting that that's what this was called. But it's just such a beautiful writer because I adore Pilot steel nibs. I'll just do like a little swirl here. But I adore Pilot steel nibs. They're so smooth and they write so consistently. I love them so much. So yeah, there's that, and I just think it's really nice, and I have a handful of green pens, but I don't mind. I used to try and get pens for every color because I was a matchy-matchy person, but now that I'm breaking out of that mold, I'm just curating sort of brown and green pens. The last thing I want to show is how I set up my Paper Republic because I think it's very, very cool, to me at least. You guys might think it's kind of nerdy, but that's okay. So this is my Paper Republic Le Portfolio in chestnut brown, and I have made this sort of like my, not necessarily hobbies, but like my on the go, if I'm bored and I have some time, notebooks. So this in the front is my sketchbook. I think I've shown this before, but I'll show you some recent additions. I filled up my, sorry, I had to stop there because I think my dad was coughing up a lung. So these are just some illustrations I did with my TWSBI and a broad nib. This ink is Birmingham Pen Company Freshwater Bog, and I really like it. It's like a bright blue. And so I have been drawing with it again. I've been trying to draw more again. And so this is just my phone, playing some music. I wrote some song because I thought it was funny. This is a Travelers Company clip. This is the lid of the TWSBI. This is me. I love drawing little stars and stuff. And then this is when I went out to a cafe with some friends. I went out to a cafe with Yusra and Sachi. And so that was very lovely. And this was my strawberry matcha latte, and it was so good. And then I also got a croissant with strawberries and cream, and it was so good, and I really want to go back there because this is in the Village if you live in Toronto. This cafe is called Cafe Our Hours, which is quite cute. I thought I wrote Our Hours, but like the wrong hour. But yeah, it's really cute. It's in the Village. It's on Church Street, just slightly north of Wellesley. It's really cute. It's really beautiful. They have like a bear theme, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I really liked it. We wanted to go to the new cafe that is called Understory, which is a trans-owned cafe, but we all walked in separately and went, nah, this is too busy, because I think they had an event going on and it was packed. which I'm very like grateful that it's packed. It's wonderful to see a cafe, especially a new trans owned cafe. Well, a new cafe that is trans owned is doing so well. But yeah, it was just way too packed, and there were no tables, there was barely any standing room, and we were like, maybe another time. And so we went to Cafe Our Hours, which is just a little bit of a walk up north. And so yeah, this is the sketchbook I have in here. And then over here, I'm very excited about this new edition. This is just the Paper Republic blank notebooks that come with the it came with my lip portfolio, and it also came with my pocket Grand Voyager. But this one I've decided is going to be my on the go notebook for outings, really. So this was on the 15th, and Cafe Our Hours is where I wrote this little bit, and then I wrote this bit about the Eaton Center when I went to Vereda Central, or Central, or is it Central Vereda? I don't remember. This is a Colombian coffee shop. It is on the top floor of the Eaton Center, close to, what street is that? I think it's closer to Queen. I went to the Eaton Center to get a new iPad. It was a whole debacle, but I got a new iPad, and so my videos will hopefully take less time to upload, and also my iPad won't start coughing up blood when I edit on it. But yeah, so I got this for outings, and I'm very much looking forward to using it. This sticker is from my friend Georgia Journals. It's so beautiful. They sent me this, and I love it so much. It's so beautiful, and it says, I'll find something to write about, and it's so beautiful. I love Georgia's illustration style so much. And this sticker is from Paloma the Peach. I also love Paloma's art very much. I actually have two of this sticker because it used to be on the cover of my weeks last year, but I loved it so much I bought a second one. And then on the stickers over here, these are also by Paloma. And then this is a Yoseka sticker, and this was from Wonder Pens a million years ago. And then finally, I have a word search book in here. I just thought it was funny, or not funny, but like I thought it was cool. It's called Small Word Search Book. I think my mom got it from me from like Amazon or something, because I've been trying to stay off my phone. Realistically, I've never been one to be I've never really had an insane, or like, not insane. I've never had a very high screen time, because most of my screen time is on my iPad, because I'm an iPad baby. And it's just me like watching videos and doing research about things that I'm interested in. But I'm trying to get off my phone more, and especially now that I don't have an Apple Watch, I don't feel as connected to my phone, which is nice. The caveat being, I'm in a long distance relationship, and so I do check my phone periodically when I am waiting for a reply from my fiance, because I love them and I want to talk to them whenever we can, because we have it's not that big of a time difference, like a time zone difference. It's only 3 hours, but it's still a lot. So I wake up at like 8 o'clock, 8:30, 9:30 in the morning, and they don't wake up until like 2 o'clock my time. So that entire time I'm like, when will my wife return from the war? And so anyway, long story short, I was trying to get off my phone, and so I got this word search book. I also recently got a crossword book, which is somewhere. I'll grab it. So I went to the Eaton Center on a Sunday to get my new iPad after I hung out with UC and Sachi. I went to the Apple store at the Eaton Center, and I got my iPad, and I was like, hey, I would like to trade in my iPad for a new iPad. And they were like, yeah, okay, it's a $70, you'll get a $70 trade-in value. And I was like, well, better than nothing. My iPad is quite old, and anyway, it had like a home button still. I loved it so much. I was gonna run it into the ground, and I kind of sort of did, but then unfortunately, I started editing videos, and it was like, help, you're killing me every time you edit a video. And I was like, I'm sorry. And so I went to the Apple store, and it took me like 2 hours to try and set up the new iPad in there, to try and transfer all my data, and it was not having it, and they gave me like 2 duds by accident. And anyway, by the time I got everything sorted out, we were all very not flabbergasted, and we were all very flustered. And so I got home, and then I realized they never gave me the discount for the trade-in value. So I called them and they were like, yeah, no, I called Apple and they were like, yeah, the store's closed, call tomorrow. And I was like, okay. So I called the next day on Monday and I was like, hey, they never gave me the trade-in value. And they were like, yeah, you have to go back into the store. And I was like, I have to go downtown. And they were like, yeah, sorry. And I was like, all right, cool. So I went downtown with my dad and I was able to get $79 back, which was nice. But then my dad and I were like, well, we're here, may as well go to Indigo. And so I went to Indigo and I got 2 books. This being one of them. My dad actually bought this for me, which was very kind of him. Yeah, so this is the daily crossword puzzles, and it's Mondays. I have done exactly 1 word in this so far, because I really want to get into crosswords, but the issue is the fact that I have 1 brain cell, and so I'm not very well versed in, like, trivia. I know a lot about one thing, and that one thing is stationery. But I really thought this would be very fun, and it has the answers. It has the answers in the back, so I won't feel. So if I like have a lot of trouble, I can cheat. But then the other thing that I got is actually a book that I saw Ella Nim or Nim. Sorry, one sec. The other book I saw on Nim's archive. Chris. They were sharing about this book, which is by a Japanese philosopher, and it was written many, many years ago, because the philosopher Soetsu Yanagi was, he lived from the 1880s to the 1960s. Like, this was before my parents were born. He passed away before my parents were born. So, like, that's pretty cool, and it has photographs, and it just, the best, I got this book largely because, well, I got this book because I was inspired by Chris, and I also got it because I'm trying to read more physical books. I found out, like, literally in the last few days that I have a print disability. I found out that print disability was a thing. I thought that I was the only person on earth who had trouble reading physical print. I've been using an e-reader recently, because I have trouble reading blocks of text, but especially when it's small, cluttered blocks of text. But this font is big enough that I can read it without it all shaking around and blending into itself. I don't have a dyslexia diagnosis because I fit too many criteria for too many learning disabilities, and so they gave me the diagnosis of unspecified learning disability, which does not help me at all. But yeah, I forgot that I had a learning disability until very, very recently when I was in California visiting my in-laws and my partner, and I said something, and my mother-in-law turned to me and went, "You have a learning disability," and I went, "Oh, okay, yeah, you're right, damn." So yeah, that was quite funny. But yeah, so I got this because I think I'll be able to actually physically read it, which is very exciting for me because I love physical books very much. I also love my e-reader. I have a Kobo. But yeah, so I'm very excited to get back into physical media and, like, print media because I love print media. I just have trouble reading physical books. One last thing. I recently, literally yesterday, got the Hirono Fight for Joy figure. I attached him to my bag, and I really love him so much. He's my baby. I love him so much. Anyway, I was able to put all of my inks that do not have, like, boxes, either because I got rid of the box or because, like, it's a Robert Oster ink and it doesn't come with a box. I put them all in here to avoid being impacted by the sunlight because, this specific shelf in my room, as well as all my other shelves, they all face the window directly behind me, and so they get sunlight, and where I used to have my inks, it never occurred to me that they were getting impacted by the sun, and then I went, wait a minute, I need to fix this, because they were on the shelf beside it, but they were underneath some stuff, and so they weren't in direct sunlight. But then this shelf, because on the bottom I have other inks, but they're mostly in vials, so I can just cover them up. But yeah, it never occurred to me that they were in direct sunlight, and I went, oh no, that's not good. I'm gonna figure out something to do with these guys as well. And same with these. But yeah, so I just wanted to say that if you have a big box that is cute and you don't want to get rid of, because I love house shapes, so I didn't want to destroy this box. I decided I was going to put all my ink in there. This video went absolutely off the rails. I started off very like self-pitying and stuff, and then I was like, actually, want to talk about the fact that I can't read? But yeah, so this has been kind of nice to process. I hope you don't mind. But yeah, it's been nice to talk to you, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. Do you track your health in any way? Do you have goals, or not necessarily goals for health, but like, I'm not talking about like I want to get buff. I'm talking about like, do you have any conditions that you like to track? And if so, you don't need to tell me what they are, but I'm just being curious about, like, do you track them digitally? Do you track them analog? I would love to know. And also, if you don't feel comfortable sharing, please feel no pressure to. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Take care. Bye-bye.